As you can tell by the title of the video, I am going to be talking about why this is the best first car you can buy. Moving on to point number 1, they are very cheap to buy. On average, I would imagine most of you probably have a £1,000 to £2,000 budget. These fall right in the middle of that. You can pick them up for as low as £500 or as much as £1,500, some even £2,000. However, the £500 ones, they're not perfect. A lot of these cars have a lot of rust issues, so your best bet is to go for the more expensive side of it and you'll get yourself a much better car. For example, I overpaid for mine just a little bit. I paid £2,000. However, it's a 1.3 and it's an SI model. Those two things, they're not that easy to come by. One other issue that the cheaper ones have is high mileage. These were made from, I believe, 1994 all the way to 2001, meaning that some of them are over 30 years old. But if you buy one on the more expensive side of things, you could get one that's low mileage, rust free, and an overall very good car. Point number 2, they are very cheap to run. On average, these cars get around 40 mpg. Name me another 90s petrol car that does that. Because they have such small engines, you don't really have to worry about too much. They're also not terrible on insurance. Obviously, being your first car, it's not going to be dirt cheap, but I know some people who have had these as their first cars and they're paying next to nothing. On the other hand, some people are paying a lot. So if you can get a good quote, I don't see why you shouldn't buy one. Now, point number 3, they are very easy to work on. There's a lot of space around the engines. With the engines being small and only 4 cylinders, you have a lot of room around them. The only issue you do have though is rusty bolts. Obviously, everyone knows all old cars, they're now covered in rust. Unlike all these new cars that are being made now, there's a lot less electrics, and I know there's going to be a lot of people like me who absolutely hate working on electrics, which makes these even better. And also, when these cars do break, parts of them are very, very cheap. If you're anything like me and want to modify your car, this is another reason why these are awesome cars, which brings me on to number 4. They are very easy to modify. You've got the likes of Gizfab, Passan Fernando and Andrew French. If you need anything for these cars, those are your people. With Gizfab, you've got K-swaps, exhausts, anything sort of mechanical, he's your guy. Passan Fernando, I've got his mid-wing and I have his side skirts. He specialises in body kits. And then Andrew French, he's a Micra breaker, probably the biggest in the southwest. Now, to give you a bit of inspiration, I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've done to mine. Starting off over here, I have got some TSW Evo wheels, 14 inch by 6. Moving on to the side skirts here, these are from Passan Fernando. These are replicas, or he sort of made Micra side skirts using Glanza Live Sport side skirts, which is pretty cool. Moving on, round to the back, I have got a mid-wing. This is also from Passan Fernando, but if you have the money, these are available in Japan and you can import them over using Buyee. In Japan, these are called the Nissan March. I've got some clear side indicators. I don't know how I managed to get them, but I found them on eBay. Every time I try to look for some more now, they're sold out. So I think I just got very lucky. Moving on to the exhaust, I have a Gizfab Sports exhaust system from the cat all the way back. And if you ask me, it sounds pretty good. Although unfortunately, because of how low I am, I have bent it a little bit, so it just rattles quite a lot. But I can look past that because it still sounds really good. Moving on to the inside, I have got a Nardi personal steering wheel. I believe this is 330mm. I have some Mark II MX-5 Tombstone seats. And I made a custom gear knob at work, the bride shift knob. And then in the back, I've gutted it out and I have a Gizfab K-brace. And to give you guys some even more inspiration on what you can do to your car, I've got a friend Sam. I'll leave his Instagram here. He is currently in the process of putting a K20 in his Micra. Unfortunately, he had the deadline of Isle of Wight takeover, which was back in May, and the day before we were going, he was bleeding the coolant and it started knocking. So he's in the process of rebuilding the engine and hopefully it'll all be done in the next few months, which will be pretty cool. If you want to see one that actually works, there's quite a few over on Micra Mafia and Gizfab, Eden. His track one, the Time Attack one, that is a K20 turbo one in it, I believe. And another engine swap you can do which I don't know if anyone's seen through fully, is an SR20 out of a Sylvia. There's been a lot of people who have tried this engine swap. I think there might only be one who's fully completed it and got it running. While still being on the topic of modifications, there was one that I forgot to mention at the previous place. I am on Corsa B coilovers. A common question that I get asked a lot is what coilovers fit if you don't want to spend £1,000 on BCs or similar price on the Gizfab ones. You can fit Corsa B coilovers with very limited modifications. Granted, the ride isn't as good as if you were to get BCs or one of the more expensive options. However, if your goal is to just lower it as low as it can go, Corsa Bs are the best ones for that. Granted, these cars, when they're stock, they don't look the best, but when you modify them, I think they look very cool, if they're done right. Just don't put mini lights on it and bin lids, because nobody wants to be that person. They look awful, especially when they're stock ride height still. This leads me on to my fifth and final point. There is a very strong community surrounding these little cars here. On Facebook, we have Micra Mafia. There is nearly 50,000 members in that group. If you need any help with any of your micros, that is the best place to go. And then on sort of like the Instagram, TikTok sort of side, you have Cult K11. They are a very new group, but they are growing quite quickly. They are tailored towards the more modified cars. Another thing about the community, because these cars are everywhere, chances are where you live, you will have a couple modified ones near you. So they're great to start out with a little car group, car friends. I mean, that's how I met all of my group, was through this car here. Honestly, I can't think of a better first car for you. I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I've probably missed out quite a few good reasons why these are good first cars. So if you own a Micra and you want to leave a comment down below about what made you buy it or why you think they're good first cars, leave them down below. And as always, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.